And here we are again, people. Welcome in. I can see people joining. I am Brian, the UKBitcoinMaster, if you haven't come across my channel before. And this is your alternative to the BBC, the Bullish Bitcoin channel. If you're new to all of this, I go live every Monday and every Thursday at 6 p.m. UK time, whatever that is for you around the world. Come and join us twice a week if you're looking for some good bullish Bitcoin content. Today is the 11th of December. I hope many of you are going to take some time and recharge your batteries over the Christmas period, because we got a battle on our hands and it will start again in 2024, but it's an exciting battle, I have to say. Very, very quickly, let me get this out of the way. You got to do your own research. No financial advice here. Read it. Go to these two websites, scan them with your phone if you're on a phone. They are where you will find all my videos. If you're looking specifically for interviews, then go to bitcoininterviews.com. If you just want to see the content, go to UKBitcoinMaster.com. And last but not least here, not your keys, not your coins. People, if you are a regular to the show, you will know that if you do not have your keys in your possession or your Bitcoin is on an exchange, you could lose it. And do you really want to lose something that may go parabolic over the next 1 to 2 decades? Because I certainly wouldn't. And you know what I found? People place a security on their Bitcoin on the value of it today. Don't ever do that. Place your security level as if it is 100x from where it is today, because it very well could be. And I'm not saying it's going to be. I would encourage you all to get on the Orange Pill app. Many of you are getting on it, but we want more. It is building the social layer of Bitcoin. You can connect with Bitcoiners all around the world, people in your locale. Natalie Brunel's on there. I'm on there. BTC Sessions, Knut Svanholm, Dr. Seyfedin and Moose. There are so many people on the Orange Pill app. I don't know why you wouldn't want to get on it. If you want to get on it, and this is your first time hearing about it today, then use my link in the show notes and you will get 10,000 free sats upon registration and taking out some form of subscription. I don't want anybody to get scams on this channel, so take notice of these next 2 slides. If you see anything like this in my comments, something like that, or indeed something like that, I don't even use WhatsApp, so take no notice of these people. They are all scammers, trust me. Last but not least here, just a quick shill. I haven't done this for weeks now. Matthew Underhill, a good friend of the show, he has this book on Amazon called The Bitcoin Book, A Beginner's Guide to the Future of Finance. It is a great book to read if you are a novice, written in English. You can get it on Audible as well, and it's narrated in English, which is really, really nice. I just wanted to give that a quick shill. So if I come back to me, okay, who have we got in the chat? Let's have a look if my technology will work. I saw BitcoinMaster in earlier, JC Borter, Michael Lilienfeld, I believe I'm saying that, Lilienfeld, Yorkie Bitcoiner, JB Bitcoiners with a Stephen Redding coming in from Florence, Elaine Mrs. UK, my better half, welcome to you. Chaz Oid is in the house. MW, you missed a good one, dude. You really did. I thought you were joining us. MW, or M now, from the Spanish islands, welcome. Good to see you. Casso is in the house. Casso, always a pleasure to see you. Stacking Richie, Budge Dobnik, Johnny Midas in from the desert. Torp Hoddle, good to see you live, dude. Really good. Okay. If you want to get my attention for anything, type in UK Bitcoin Master, then a message. It will light up orange and hopefully I'll see it and I'll give you a shout out. But I want to say this. For those of you that joined us on the 21 Million Club on Saturday, the Zoom meetup we have once every 4 or 5 weeks, what an epic one that was. I'm sure you would all agree. Johnny Midas was there. Budge Dobnik was in the house as well. John G. Who else did we have in there? Elaine, obviously, my lovely wife, was with us. It was probably close to the best yet, certainly in terms of numbers. as it was our Christmas one, there was also a surprise, and I reached out to British Hodl to see if he would join us and grace the Zoom meetup for 10 or 15 minutes. He stayed for about an hour and a quarter. The guys all asked him questions, and it was absolutely superb, I've got to say. So, British Hodl, if you're watching, which you're probably not, but if you do watch this, thank you, sir, for coming on and talking to the guys for well over an hour. It was absolutely superb. Thanks again. Jersey Bean, good to see you in the house from Jersey. No less. Okay, so on with the show. I got a heck of a lot to get through in terms of slides, so I want to get into it. The thumbnail said there are so many reasons Bitcoin will win. And there really are, trust me, too many to go into on the show. So I'm going to get into some of those reasons. But before I do, I'm looking at the price, 41,189. Bitcoin is on sale, people. You should be getting sats right now and buying this dip, because all this is a dip and a chance to pick up sats cheap. Right now, $1 will get you 2,429 sats. So why wouldn't you pick some up? Vinny Rondo joined us on the 21 Million Club. Hello, Vinny. Rocky Palumbo raced back from Unconfiscatable to be with us. And again, guys, I'm sure you all agree, it was an absolutely awesome 21 Million Club. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on with the show. And thanks to those of you that said in the comments, nice picture. It's an old picture I found out when I had my old goatee. And I thought, yeah, I wonder if I can do something with that just to mix it up a little bit. So thank you for those of you that think it's an okay picture. Perhaps I'm a bit cool with me goatee. Who knows? Okay, right. So I want to get on over to the desktop and let's see what's going on. Okay, one of the reasons that we hold Bitcoin and Bitcoin is going to win is because of the corruptness that's going on in the banking industry. And here's just another one. Bank of America pays $12 million fine for misreporting mortgage data. So with Bitcoin, don't trust, verify. With the banking system, it is, no, we don't trust you because you won't verify anything. And they hide it all away. So, you know, you've got to be mindful. There are so many reasons why somebody would start looking for an alternative to their banking, what I call fiasco. If that weren't enough, if you listen to this guy, you need brain surgery. This guy, Charles Hoskinson, he is the CEO and founder of Cardano, slamming on Bitcoin yet again, saying, I don't see how Bitcoin survives. It's a religion, not an ecosystem. Hash rate will fall and it will die a slow heat death. What a flipping plonker. Why do you think he's saying that with his Cardano coin? Anyway, I won't go into it. But here's the thing. I was on Invest Answers the other day and I nicked this from him. So it's absolutely brilliant. He used a chatbot to ask the question about, can Charles Hodgkinson, or Hodgkinson, whatever his name is, be trusted? What did this grok come back with? Well, it seems like Charles Hoskinson has been caught with his pants on fire. According to Laura Shin's book, he's been pretending to be a CIA agent and lying about his education credentials. Talk about a plot twist worthy of a soap opera. Okay, let's talk about why he might be a sociopath. Sociopaths are known for their charming personalities and ability to manipulate others. They often lie and deceive to get what they want. If Shin's book is to be believed, Hoskinson fits the bill perfectly. Let me read that again. They use their charming personality to manipulate others. I would like to feel that everybody watching this show is feeling, well, what, this guy's just wearing his heart on his sleeve. Am I trying to coerce you into joining my club so that I can make money from you? No, I'm not. I'm simply giving you information. And if you look out there across the Bitcoin ecosystem, you will find tens, hundreds, and probably thousands of really honest dudes that really care about the world, humanity, the planet, fairness for all across all continents, banking for all across all continents. Cardano and all these other crap coins can't say that. They just can't. So where he gets his Bitcoin is going to die a slow heat death. Just go and look at the hash rate. The hash rate is astronomical on Bitcoin. I remember, I lose track now, a year and a half, 2 years ago, when China kicked the miners out. Hash rate dropped considerably, and literally within 3 or 4 months, it was piling up the other way again. And, now we are at crazy hash rate levels. So I'm wondering where this CH is getting his data from to say that Bitcoin is going to die a slow heat death. So do not take notice of people like this that have got ulterior motives. If that weren't enough, we know what President Bukele is doing down in El Salvador. Now, you've heard the news. If you're over Twitter, you know all this. But for those that don't, he met recently with the finance minister of Qatar. And it's rumored that they want to invest 500 billion into Bitcoin. Oh, my Picasso, what might that do to Bitcoin's price? So you've got to look at everything. Don't just look at one piece of news. When you're down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, you end up needing to look at what's going on in the macro world as well, and wider events, etc. And why would Bukele go and meet the finance minister of Qatar? Why? Because he's talking to him about how their country could benefit greatly by being on a Bitcoin standard. Now, whether this guy takes heed, whether he does anything about it, we don't know. My point is, when I got into Bitcoin 6.5 years ago, you would have never seen headlines like this. When I got in at 2K a coin, people were talking about it was going to go to 10K and 15 and 20K. And I was thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great if it did? Wouldn't it be great if it did? And it did. And now we are over double that right now, and we're now talking about this thing could go to 100K and beyond. And of course, people are going, oh, is that really possible? Could that really happen? Well, here we are. You've got Adam Back betting that Bitcoin will hit 100K before the next Bitcoin halving. Now, let me tell you why this is all so bullish, shall I? Because a good barometer, a good yardstick of what is going on is looking at Google searches for Bitcoin. And here is a typical Google search. And the two red lines represent the bottom when nobody's searching for Bitcoin, the top when they're all searching for it, which is when the price is pumping, going absolutely nuts. And we are here, people. There is nothing going on outside of our Bitcoin echo chamber that people are excited about. Trust me. But they will. And as price goes up, Google searches go up. As Google searches go up, more people start looking for Bitcoin content on YouTube, which is why I encourage you all to share this link, to retweet it out, to share it if you're listening on the podcast, to support the channel. And British Hodl says it best. I need you to subscribe, because if we've got 3 channels putting great content out, awesome. If we've got 333 channels putting out great content, awesome. Some people that might find a techie channel like Swan Bitcoin or something, or Simply Bitcoin, they may turn off after 10 minutes because it goes over their head. But they might find some kind of value in this old boomer's channel that just talks inspiration, common sense, shows some reasons why Bitcoin is only going to go one direction, even though we're in a nice correction at the moment. We're at 41 dead at the moment, 40,989. So a pretty good dip to buy some Bitcoin on sale. I would encourage you all to get some. You look at this one, Bitcoin, US dollar, or gold. Take a look at this chart. Year to date, this is indexed. Bitcoin outperformed the US dollar by 141.6%. Bitcoin outperformed gold by 106.6%. If that is not enough evidence year to date for people to think I maybe need a small allocation of this, then I don't know what the heck is. Because everything is pointing to Bitcoin starting to eat the world. Let me prove it to you. Okay, here are the top assets by market cap in the US, pretty globally as well if you look at gold and silver. But just take a look at them. Gold is up the top there with 491 trillion in market cap. If you go down, Berkshire Hathaway have just been pushed down to 12. A few days ago, they were up at 11 by Tesla. You know, that's going to be another disruptor business model, I'm sure, but I'm all in on Bitcoin. Bitcoin did flip Meta for a while, but it's back down under Meta. But here's the point. If all these people that know their stuff are saying that Bitcoin is going to eat gold's market cap, you can see what's going to happen if Bitcoin has currently got 829 billion in market cap and it goes to 13 trillion. Don't know how many X that is, but that is why you want to buy and hold Bitcoin bit by bit. Trust me. No, don't trust me. Don't verify. Just that's a figure of speech in the UK. Bitcoin is going to retake Meta. Then it will go for Nvidia and silver, and it will eventually sit at the top. And I reckon that'll happen in my lifetime. And if you want to know how early you are to all of this, take a look at this one. Have a look at this pie chart. The green is the debt. The amount of debt that's out there is crazy, 40.4%. You've got the little yellow sliver is gold. Real estate in blue is 43.53% of the global money. You've then got equities in there, the pink one at the bottom. And little old Bitcoin is at the top with that white arrow, 0.05% of all the money, of all the assets. Are you telling me Bitcoin couldn't take just 5% of the debt, real estate, gold, equities? If we're on 40k at 0.05%, what are we going to be at 5%? And this is what really blows my mind about all of this. I don't need to understand all of this as long as I've got a strong Bitcoin hand. And those of you that have followed my channel for long enough know that I've got a super mega strong Bitcoin hand. And I defy you to find anyone more than the Bitcoin boss here. Do you like the t-shirt? I love this t-shirt. So you ain't getting my Bitcoin, people. I believe with everything in me, with what I've learned over 6.5 years. And I always say this, learners are earners and earners are learners. Don't stop learning, people. And I'm constantly learning from others way cleverer than me in the Bitcoin space. And that helps my strong Bitcoin hand. It really does. And it helps me to understand where this thing is going. And you've got to listen to the video at the end. If you don't believe me, listen to somebody that knows their stuff. Okay, so stick around for that. So I'm gonna quickly shout out my new show sponsor. If you like luxury holidays, wherever you are in the world, you got to check out the best of Exmoor. I came across this guy about a month ago. He reached out to me after watching the show, and he's got a portfolio of 200 luxury properties in the southwest corner of the UK that he will take Bitcoin or currency for a discount because he's a Bitcoiner and now he's sponsoring my show. Everything pet friendly, sea view. Look at this building here right on the ocean. I don't know if my cursor's showing up, but on the right hand side here, they are spectacular. We have just arranged to go down in September next year so that I can talk from first hand experience. There is everything there. There's even somewhere that sleeps 21 if you want a family getaway. And there is Exmoor on the southwest corner of the UK. Beautiful part of the world. It's Exmoor National Park. If I scroll down on the left, there is Chris and his lovely wife. Chris is the Bitcoiner. He's been in as long as I have. I would encourage you to click this or scan this QR code and at least go and have a look. If you do decide you'd like a holiday with your family, and I don't know why you wouldn't, then you can pay in currency, Bitcoin, or you can use that code UKBM30 for a further discount. So check it out, people. I encourage you to. Let me just get rid of it and let's get back into the show. Okay, as always. Wow, do I talk a bit fast? I can't help it. When I'm bullish and I'm excited, I talk quickly. So for those that want to try and watch this at 1.5x and you're struggling, I apologize. But some of the podcasts I watch, forgive me, I love the content and the people delivering it, but sometimes I've got to get it up to 1.5 and 1.75x because I like high energy. I like buzziness, punchy. So I end up talking punchy as well. Okay, I found some great tweets. This one from the Bitcoin Therapist. Jamie Dimon just got community noted for lying about Bitcoin primarily being used for criminal activity. Absolutely lying to the people. He should be held accountable for lying to the public. And you can read the bit at the bottom there. This is what we're up against with the corrupt bankers. Not only that, they tell a pack of lies. We had the issue recently, didn't we, where they were saying that, Bitcoin and crypto was massively being used by Hamas and all the rest of it. So Senator Lummis comes out with this one. An inaccurate report last week claimed that Hamas raised nearly $100 million via crypto assets. In reality, it was less than 500,000. What a difference. This encapsulated the misconception that crypto is a tool for illicit finance when it accounts for less than 1% of global illicit finance activity. Don't be fooled, people. Just learn from Bitcoiners that have the signal is as pure as you're ever going to get. Sam Wright, I see you're in the house. Welcome. Uncool Hodler is with us. Who else? I saw someone else. Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, everyone. Pound the like button. What else? Fidelity. The SEC meets with Fidelity to discuss a spot Bitcoin ETF. Why is this relevant? Because they wouldn't meet with any entities with ETFs in the past. When I got into Bitcoin in May 2017, I heard then a company called VanEck were applying for an ETF. And of course, every year it got kicked out. And then the content creators I followed said, yeah, I'll be kicked out again next year. It'll be kicked out again next year. All of a sudden, it's not being kicked out. You've had BlackRock, you've had Grayscale, and probably others have actually met with the SEC. And in my opinion, that is to dot the I's and cross the T's because this thing is coming. Now, there's a lot of debate out there about, is it, a sell the news event or whatever it is, buy the rumor, sell the news event, and it's a bit of a nothing burger and it's all priced in? Maybe. But you know what? You don't want to be out of the market in case you are wrong. So it can do what it's going to do. Maybe we're running up on the news that it's all starting to happen, and then when it happens, it'll be a nothing burger. I still believe that once it happens and the floodgates are open and regular people can get it into their pension funds and 401ks and so on and so forth, and they trust companies like BlackRock and Fidelity and all the others, I believe we will see a steady upward trend of Bitcoin without a price prediction to 100, 150,000, maybe upwards. I really don't know. So I don't care about the day-to-day fluctuations with rumors that come out. I just know that this is happening, and this would not be a nothing burger if people like Fidelity and BlackRock and I think Kathy Wood might have done, I'm not quite sure, don't quote me on that, but Grayscale, they would have not got to have met with the SEC. So this is a huge deal, in my opinion. Pete Rizzo tweeted, Michael Saylor, exactly 2 years ago, quote, By 2024, JP Morgan and Bank of America will be buying Bitcoin. This is a really, really clever dude. Not only is he clever, he's put all of his billions where his mouth is. And I would rather listen to someone like that when they're talking about Bitcoin than I would trust these entities that, look, BlackRock are only getting an ETF because they can see the money to be made. They know that Bitcoin can't be stopped. Flipping hell, Larry Fink used to come out and he was heading up the ESG narrative, and Bitcoin was boiling the oceans and was going to use all the electricity in the world. Now all of a sudden BlackRock have distanced themselves from ESG. This guy knew. That's all noise. He said tune out the noise and just focus on stacking as hard as you can, because over time this thing is going upwards, and the cliche is going to the moon. Archie, Bitcoin Archive, tweeted, just in, Bloomberg says even skeptical investors should accept it's safer to have a small allocation to Bitcoin than to ignore it. Now, it wasn't a couple of years ago when they were saying, it is too risky to have exposure to Bitcoin. It is reckless to put any of your money in Bitcoin. Mike, MSBE, good to see you, dude. It is reckless. Now here we are in 2023 going into 2024. And what are they saying? It is reckless to ignore it. You need to have a small allocation to Bitcoin rather than to ignore it. This thing's happening, people. It really is. I think I've got another one from the Bitcoin therapist, Saylor again. Billionaire entrepreneur Michael Saylor believes Bitcoin will eventually capture 10 to 20% of global assets. That is 5 to 10 million per coin. And I really want you to listen, because there's a quick video coming up from Preston Pish now. Now, I trust Preston Pish. No, I don't trust. I like what he has to say. He's not just coming out with BS. He's got the podcast Study Billionaires. He's had so many billionaires on his platform. I do trust what he has to say, I think is what I'm trying to say. And in this clip, he goes into this. If you think Bitcoin gets to 500,000 and then it all levels out and it's a done deal, you have not got a clue about this asset. Don't listen to me, listen to Preston Pish.
People who look at this and are saying, oh, well, once it gets to 1 million, I'm going to sell and I'm going to take some massive, returns. They don't, what they're really saying is they have no clue what's actually playing out here. Because if this goes to 1 million, it's going to 10 million. It's going to 100 million.
That's what Saylor said.
It's going to look like a Zimbabwe note of 100 trillion units. And that's what I think. If you think it's just going to go up to 500,000 and then it's going to kind of stop there, and that's kind of like where it ends, and like that's the end of Bitcoin. It's now stabilized at 500,000. You really do not understand like what's playing out here.
Yep.
And I think the higher that you go like that, the more aggressive the bid is actually going to get, and kind of get away from legacy policymakers and people controlling currencies, fiat currencies as we know them. Now, when does that happen? I don't know when that happens. I don't know if it's this cycle, next cycle, or whatever. I don't know. But people that are suggesting that Bitcoin is going to have smaller and smaller returns into the future, I think are getting duped a little bit as to like what kind of plays out in the middle of that S curve. I think that's what's happening with those kind of ideas and comments. I don't see it as being bullish. I see it as being, I'd like to think it's just very logical. Like for us to go from something that was worth a couple pennies to $1 million for an imaginary Mario coin like thing that's just a ledger entry on a global database, for somebody that would hear that 5-10 years ago, they would have literally laughed you out of the room and said, there's no way that could happen. And then the question you should have asked that person is, okay, well, at what price would you stop laughing and take it very serious? Which was the actual question that was proposed to Andrew Sorkin this week on CNBC. And as you noticed, he refused to answer the question. And him not answering the question is telling you what he actually believes, which is, I don't want to be wrong, and I don't want to say 100,000 or 500,000, because in the back of his subconscious mind, it's going there. That's why he's not going to answer that question.
Look, there is enough evidence out there without me running a podcast, without the other dudes running a podcast, that this is something you should be considering a portion of your net worth into. If you are a regular person, you have, and I've said this a million times, you have one shot right now at front running these institutions, because when they pile in, it's almost going to end it for the little guy. Sure, you can still stack sats. You can still have your little portion of the Bitcoin ecosystem, the global money, if that makes sense, that can't be debased because they'll never print any more of it. Sure, you can keep stacking. But right now you're getting, well, we're at 40,633, so 2,461 sats for $1. So if you got $10 lying around, you can get 24,000 sats. And if you've got $100, 240,000 sats. I remember a month or so ago, I was telling you can get 4,000 sats for your dollar. Now it's 2,463. The point is, if this thing goes up after the ETF and doubles in price, you're not going to get 2,400. You're going to get 1,200 for the same dollar. And then the institutions are going to start to pile in. You'll see the thing run off, and you'll just regret not selling your chairs, selling your beds, selling everything that isn't nailed down. I'm only joking. Take that tongue in cheek, for goodness sake. But my point is, this is your one chance of stacking like mad and front running them all, people. And I encourage you to do that. Casso, one of the best content creators in Bitcoin is Jeff Booth. I could not agree more. Jeff Booth is awesome. You guys, if you're new to my channel, go into Bitcoin Interviews. I had Jeff on my show and I interviewed him. What a visionary guy. This guy, he's a legend. He's going to go down as a legend in the future with his book, The Price of Tomorrow, which, by the way, he wrote nothing to do with Bitcoin. There's a tiny little bit at the end about Bitcoin, but it was always about what's happening in the world from a macro standpoint and how, well, get the book. It's just absolutely awesome. So, Jim Andrews, good to see you, dude, as always. So, quickly, if I may, I love quotes. Here's one I found. Convince, and this is me, convince people and you win their minds. Inspire people and you win their hearts. That's what I try to do on the channel. Inspire people with my passion to just go down the rabbit hole and learn about Bitcoin super fast. Learn about it, understand a little bit about it, and then they'll know why they need to get a little bit and get off zero. Now, let me tell you why I'm showing this. I don't want to shill, and I don't need anybody to send me donations. But I've had many people say, look, you have not monetized your YouTube super chat when you can. No, I'm not monetizing it. So how can we drop you a tip? How can we support you? There you go. 3 sats addresses. There is a buy me a cup of coffee address. I want to thank Stephen Redding and one other, whoever the other one was, if you're in the chat. Thank you. 2 of you bought me 3 cups of coffee each, which you didn't need to do, but I thank you. And I always reply with not required, but always appreciated. So for those that want to drop a tip, there you go. That's how you can do it. But like I've said, I do not expect it. Wow, that is it. We're done again. About 33 minutes, I believe. I tried to keep it around the 30-minute mark so people's bums don't get numb. I am looking at the viewers against the likes. And guys, get your butts in gear. There are way more viewers than likes. And the more likes, the more it screws with YouTube's algorithm and keeps this video longer, more current for longer, so noobs can find it. So come on, help me out. Every one of you, smash the like button, please. Before you all go, come and join me on Thursday. I've got a live guest that is actually quickly becoming massive in the space. and I don't think you'll want to miss this one. 6 p.m. London, as always. As always, please retweet this, please share it, please go back into the comments afterwards and leave a comment so we can keep spanking, thanks British Huddle, we can keep spanking that YouTube algorithm and, get more eyeballs on this. See, it's gone up. It's about 6 likes already. You guys, I love you to bits, but you forget to hit the like button. So for those that have just hit it, thank you. But we still got 11 more viewers, I believe, that I'm looking at than we've got likes. So smash it, people. I'll be back on Thursday. I'm going to leave you with my social media links. Now, the social media link is in the show notes. It's called Linktree, and it's got every platform that I'm on there. So do go into the show notes. You've also got the link for the Orange Pill app there as well, and other links. The link to my live interview with Aimstone that was last Thursday. Go and check that one out. There's so much good stuff down in the show notes, and most people don't bother. I'm out of here, peeps. I'll catch you all on Thursday for my live guest. Until then, I am the boss. I am Brian, the UK Bitcoin Master, and this is your alternative to the lying crappy BBC, the Bullish Bitcoin channel. I'm gone. Social media links coming up.